And so one of the things I always try to ask faculty is kind of what motivated them to pursue educational research in the first place. What in their personal background or set of motivations led them to work in this area. And
you know, it's interesting all the different ways that one could tell a story like this. I could maybe tell one version of the story where it was a series of accidents. I think it would really be true. I only got into one school for college. I only got into one school for graduate school. I didn't go to study anything educational at all. I was interested in kind of the big questions in psychology, you know, nature, nurture, and what is human nature, and things like that. But my graduate advisor, Dave Geary, happened to have a big grant to do research on children's mathematical development, and I got a graduate research assistantship driving the math van. It was a big van with a desk in the back around the state of Missouri and all of the bordering states, there are a lot of them, testing children on math cognition tests, and eventually starting to really become interested in the topic.
They
right?
literally would go into the van,
Oh,
the back
yeah.
of the van to take the test.
That's true. They would go into the van. We had I think a really good relationship with the community, and you know, the parents, and really most of the students, I think, really enjoyed being involved. We, you know, give them little toys. Of course, I know it sounds weird, the kids going into a van to take the test, but there would always be multiple testers. Every interaction was filmed, and you know, it was a fun. It was a really interesting project to be involved with.
So the first explanation is kind of this path dependency. That
Right.
these accidents happen and they lead to their own
Anywhere along the way, right?
trajectory.
It could have, you know, and I think I think that there's some truth in that, right? You know, it certainly wasn't predestined that I would be Dave Geary's student and that I would, you know, become interested in math cognition specifically. You know, on the other hand, there are probably factors that would have been, you know, kind of hard to change, right? So I was an undergraduate at the University of Texas. I wasn't really planning to be a psychology major. I took an introduction to psychology class, and I instantly realized that this was what I wanted to do. I loved these, you know, the old questions, the person or the situation that drives behavior. You know, does personality exist? You know, things like that. Yeah, I was always really big on the nature nurture debate. You know, and so I was really interested in that. It seems hard, you know, it seems likely that I would have pursued something like that, no matter what. I also have characteristics that probably make me well suited for academia, at least at the time. And now I have 2 kids, but at the time I didn't like waking up early. Probably wasn't, you know, great always at taking instructions from people, and kind of liked doing my own thing. All those probably.
The professional autonomy of the position
There
was
you go.
attractive. Yeah.
That's a nice way of putting it. But but you know, I think the most important thing, of course, was the interest in the substantive field of psychology, and this similarly strong interest in the research methods. How do you tease apart whether the person or the situation matters more? How do you tease apart whether individual differences are more a product of nature or nurture? Or what does it even mean to ask that question? And I always admired all the clever ways that people had come up with, over the last 100 years or so to try to answer those questions. Which story? That story is also true. So which is more important? I don't know. It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, gets us back to the